recording.
All right.
Woo.
Welcome back to What Fucking Ever.
What?
And in this episode, we're doing the one of Johnny Depp's best works. We figure we're a Johnny Depp movie because simply he's all in the news anyways. So we figure we'd talk about one of his best movies being Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What an incredible movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like this isn't going south. We're not going to be making fun of this movie. This
No.
movie, like, it's pretty damn near perfect.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into it. Jerry, what's your show stealer?
My simple the direction of the movie, the mind of seeing shots, the whole direction. I think with any other director this movie would have been wrong or it would have been weird. Weirder, I should say. But yeah, I'm big fan of, just the direction of the movie, the whole around. I could go on a long speech about a bunch of other stuff, but I realized that I'd be talking about Hunter Thompson, the person or the book. So I'm trying to just find that about this movie, So,
Okay.
what is your show stealer?
The writing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's Hunter Thompson's writing for the most part.
Yeah.
But like, just the writing, the story, the narration, like, it was all just so fascinating, so interesting, so fun to listen to.
Gonzo.
Like, it's one of the few times that it's one of the few times that like narration hasn't bothered me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and Johnny Depp, obviously. Those are my show stealers.
Oh yeah. I mean, what is your
Okay.
breaker?
Honestly, just, I mean, nothing really. Nothing really. Like, I love every part of this movie.
Yeah.
If I had to pick something, I would say it was Benicio Del Toro.
What are you picking on Benicio, man?
Well, I have nothing against him, but if I had to pick something, I think like some of the times he was overdoing it. Like, he wasn't natural in the way he was acting, so it wasn't believable.
Kind of like the thing where it's like, okay, we only got 3 spots on this roller coaster ride. Benicio, you sit yourself down. You're not coming on this ride. Aw. My show breaker is the movie by itself is very hard to like get into if you don't know the backstory. If you've never read the book or knew who Hunter Thompson was, you just watched this movie like by itself, you would just be like, what am I watching? What, like, because there is no like, you want to watch a character kind of like have a problem and he solves it, or there's something that this is like a book movie that the movie it's Gonzo, and it's really hard to explain more than that.
Well, I think that there's no direction to the movie because in most movies, somebody learns a life lesson, somebody gets redemption, somebody, these are like the types of movies, like the good guy wins kind of thing. And this movie had no direction like that. It was just, here's things.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I definitely get that, but then you kind of like want to know what this, who this movie is about and stuff. Who is this?
Right.
They don't even really say Hunter Thompson. They say Thompson once. He used the Raoul Duke. But if you didn't know about Fear and Loathing the book or Hunter Thompson the man, the movie might seem off-putting and weird. What is this? Just a drug movie? Is this movie about drugs? You know, or I don't understand this finding the American dream. Do they ever find the American dream and stuff? According to Raoul Duke, they did, but I think when you're that linear movie, that straight through
Mhm.
movie, a person could get off, kind of like off putting
Take
about it.
it off.
They could.
Uh,
So, I mean, did it ruin the movie? Like the first time I watched this, before I knew any of it, I kind of just was like, eh. And then but then I started learning who Hunter Thompson was and kind of read the book, and I was like, oh. And then I rewatched it and I was like, this movie's fucking genius.
yeah, yeah.
So,
It really is like a look into his. It's like a visual aid to his writing.
oh yeah.
Like I mean, it just works so well together.
Mm-hmm.
The writing, like his writing style, Terry Gilliam's directing style, just the over blown out trips and like, ridiculous conversation, things like that. Like it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like one in a million chance that it would work, and it worked
It did.
perfectly.
It did. So yeah, that would be my only like really downfall, like down, like of this movie. Did it ruin the movie? No. So moving on.
Moving on. Oh,
You
okay.
gonna
I'll do it. Gary, what's your notable effects? You got anything for notable effects in this
the
one?
movie's fucking chock full of notable effects.
Yeah.
Like anytime, like there's visual effects in the CGI world where they have to kind of like make the carpet, you know,
Mm-hmm.
eat a person, or when the lady turns into a fucking eel, or
Mm-hmm.
there's those. There's lighting effects that are crazy. The first hotel room that turns green and pink,
Mm-hmm.
just to show disorientation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really great effect. Uh, Even down to the costumes of the lizards.
Oh yeah, the lizards are huge.
Yeah, and whoever did that costuming, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could have looked silly, but the
Yeah.
way that they shot that room. And another thing, if you watch that room, the bar that they're in, there's all these mirrors to make it look bigger, and I
Yeah.
couldn't find a camera shot once in it.
Hmm.
Where like, they kind of pass a mirror and it's like, oh, I can see the camera.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah. I think it has great. I guess maybe it's puppetry for the lizards,
oh yeah,
or some form of like prosthetic and puppetry.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, the lizards were amazing. Just the lights. I mean, I know that these buildings are there. Las Vegas is there. It's
hmm,
bright, it's colorful. But at that time, it looked different. Like everything is a digital sign now for the most part.
yeah,
Like, just TV screens displaying marquees and stuff. So, like, just the hotels that they chose, the casinos that they chose with those lighting, especially the clown one. That one, like that's the part where it makes me sick.
yeah,
Like I watch it, I feel uncomfortable watching it
yes,
because like I the times that I have tripped, like I've never seen full on visuals like Thompson in this movie, but or Del Toro, but uh just the lighting and just all the brown and stuff, like
hmm.
I when I see it, it like triggers me and I just start to feel like uh,
Flashbacks. It's all Vietnam coming back to me, man.
yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to talk to our audience that me and Jacob do not condone or no, do not condemn nor promote drug use in any fashion.
We are completely unbiased.
Completely.
We
So,
do not care if you do drugs, and we do not care if you do not do
yeah,
drugs.
yeah. But winners don't do drugs. Well, they do a little bit, apparently.
Yeah, a little bit.
So,
Uh,
um,
all right. Well, moving on to number four, Cinema Wow.
yeah, wow. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
wow. Um, there were my rewatching of this movie this time.
Hmm.
I really paid attention to the cinema, and there are certain things they do with the camera. They'll do those Dutch angles where they'll turn it on its side, and your brain. Sometimes when you're watching a movie, you don't really try to pick up on those things because it's still a flat image, but you can
Hmm.
tell that it's tilted or the
Hmm.
camera's real close. I mean, Terry Gilliam has done these type of extreme cinema like moments that
Hmm.
make you feel uncomfortable. He gets real close up into the face, or he tilts
Oh
the
yeah.
camera. Like when they're walking down that one hallway, um, to get to their one the first hotel room,
Hmm.
and they're walking down, and he keeps going into the wrong doors.
Hmm.
He keeps it was like that Johnny Depp's like, no, that one.
Yeah.
You can look, and the hallway is not straight. The hallway is like this. It's tilted.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, they're making it disoriented for me feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
the camera's living in this. I really feel like the camera is not like a camera person, but the camera kind of is just floating around them the whole time to give you that
yeah.
feel. So yeah,
We're
cinema. Wow.
I think we're seeing them as they're seeing the world. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like we're not watching people experience this, watching them as part of the experience of that.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like you're seeing how they see, you're seeing them see how they see. So,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, the movie is like cinematically amazing. It's great. All the camera angles, all the camera tricks, all I mean, and those super close-ups, you're right. I mean, those like when they close up on Toby Maguire, and I'm just like,
yeah.
what the go dirt is happening right now? And it just makes me uncomfortable to be that close to him.
Yeah, like yeah, you can see like the sweat pouring
Hmm.
off of the characters and the attorney
Yeah.
Benicio's character. You could see like all his just grossness. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. All right. So that will bring us into quotable lines. Now, we know that there are a billion quotable
yeah.
lines out of this movie. So
Happy 420, everybody.
uh so with the quotable lines, we know, this is backcountry.
Yeah.
We can't stop here. This is backcountry. Um, you know, which ones, like, out of all of which ones stand out? Which ones are your favorite?
Okay, my favorite, and it's a throw off line.
Hmm.
But the one that I use the most is the truth is we're going to croak a skag baron named Savage Henry. I don't know what it is. It's so underneath because the movie's chopped full of like those, somewhere in between Barstow where the drugs began to take hold, or we can't stop here, backcountry. But it's the small ones that usually like really get me. Hunter is talking about uh with the right pair of eyes, you can go up on a steep hill in Las Vegas and look west and see where the high water mark broke and the wave
Hmm.
rolled back, which is a beautiful line. Like
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
got exactly what he was talking about the counterculture of the
Hmm.
60s, and when the 70s came in, or when Nixon got voted in, you can see that line where you can see that wave line where it
Hmm.
just disappeared, and
Yeah.
it's like this great moment. But Yeah. What are you still? Are you going with Backcountry?
I mean, yeah, I think that like because it's like the first real introduction into these people are out of their fucking mind.
No, no,
It's like one of the first things that he says, like even before they pick up the hitchhiker, that he's just like they're like he's explaining the drugs, but then like you see them hit, and that's like the first crazy shit he says,
no. Yeah.
and you're just oh, okay. And he's got like the fly swatter and shit. Actually, the more like I know it's quotable lines, but the more quotable thing are the facial expressions
Oh yeah.
that,
Oh, big
that
time.
Johnny Depp gives. They're fucking they're awesome. They're impressive.
Yeah.
They say more words than the movie has in the movie.
Yeah.
It, I mean, they say a million words in one facial expression. But
Yeah. Like another one that I'll pick is with the hitchhiker, and Hunter offers him, you want some beer?
yeah,
And he's like, no. And he's like, what about some ether? And it's just like, whoa, that was a huge fucking jump there, dude.
yeah, dude.
I think another real big quotable line that I think a lot of people pick up on is the bucket, the whole list of what he has in his suitcase. You know,
Mhm.
two
Yeah,
bags of
yeah,
grass, uh,
yeah,
a dozen raw amyl nitrate or whatever. You know, the bottle
yeah,
of Jack Daniels or wild turkey.
yeah,
You know, I mean, the list goes on. Uppers, downers, lefters, screamers. You know,
yeah.
fucking
Yeah, this is just packed full of them, and they're all really, really good. Like every like the writing is just amazing.
mm-hmm.
Um, all right, let's move on to that one moment. What is that one moment for you?
Ugh. That's so hard. Like you get one that moment.
I'll start, you think.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
you got. Oh no, I have like four, but
okay.
no, go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
uh,
Do yours.
so for me, I think like one of the biggest moments, because you're right, there are so many, is when they get to the circus hotel and they're taking the ether, and then they're trying to like walk in to the hotel, and they're all like fucked up walking like zombies and crackheads and
Yeah.
shit, and he's just like explaining the entire time like how your body functions and it doesn't want to function, and like that whole sequence, I love that shit. Just
Yeah.
like watching your body fall into this drug and just have minimal control over it. And then he's like trying to talk to the lady at the registration desk. Like the whole series of events is just hilarious.
Yeah. I'm gonna. All right. I got two. I'm gonna go two. Okay. The whole bathtub scene, I think,
Yeah,
is like that's a piece of cinematic history. Uh, just because of like the whole 9 yards of just it starts out Hunter is trying to like figure out what he's doing in the bathtub. He realizes he's eating a bunch of acid. He tries to help him from being electrocuted. He even says it, electrocution, no one wants that.
yeah,
And then he goes out and uh, he goes out
hides.
of the room and tries to hide in the box, and then he
Yeah,
comes back when the attorney's screaming, you know, Duke, Duke, and he comes back, and then that's when he wants him to throw the thing into the bathtub with him. It's just like, holy shit. And then it escalates to where he throws a grapefruit at him, and then he goes and the
hides.
attorney runs out and stuff, and he's like, Mace, Mace, you want this fucker? You'd do that, wouldn't you? Well, you're gonna slice me up with a goddamn knife. Who said anything about slicing you up? I just wanted to carve a little Z in your forehead and shit. It just escalates so much. It like gets the blood flowing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it really. All right, well, let's see. We've covered that. What about the sound and score?
It's perfect, that great 60s kind of
Hmm.
music, and They have like even like when they're not playing like the score, so that would be
Yeah.
all the music like underneath.
Yeah.
There is moments that are as intense, or they play just weird music for no reason sometimes.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's it's a great soundtrack if anything.
It fits the movie perfectly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, was it a thrill or a kill?
Oh, it's a thrill. It's a 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree. All right. In today's market at 916 for a movie ticket, would you pay to see this movie?
Yes, I would. Like watching the trailer and knowing what I know, if I read the book, I would want to go see the movie,
Hmm.
their portrayal,
Right.
which I have read the book by this point. So yeah, if it came out in the theater, or even if like we got a special showing next week, it's like, oh, that would be fun to go see in a theater. Big theater, loudspeakers, Yeah.
Yeah, I might have a panic attack. That movie fucking weirds me out in some like the feeling that I get from it is just so like I just feel like I want to take a shower, like
Yeah.
how dirty it feels. But anyways, so all right, well, I also agree with that. I would pay 916 and popcorn
Yeah.
and drinks
Yeah.
to see that movie. All right, well, let's get to the wrap up. Any fun trivia or facts you know about this movie?
um, One thing that I wanted to talk about really is like, we've talked to Johnny and Benicio and who else is in this movie?
Gary
Chris
Busey is the sheriff.
Gary Busey, yeah. Christina Ricci's in a small little
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
Um, there's, I mean, the guy from Special Victims Unit, small little part.
yeah, yeah.
Um, there's a lot of care. I mean, fucking the mom from Who's the Boss is small little part again. There's all these small little parts for everybody.
Mhm.
But I think more than Johnny, more than Benicio, the person that makes this movie is Terry Gilliam, who's done amazing movies, and I really like. Not only does this feel like a Hunter Thompson project, but it feels way more like a real good Terry Gilliam movie where
Yeah,
he's given the right material,
yeah.
and he can really make a good weird movie. I think that's always what his goal is in making movies, is just make a weird
I
movie.
I would say he's very gifted in that fashion, and like this is probably the most perfect like story he could have been handed.
Yeah.
Like he was born for this.
Mm.
Like I've never seen a movie translate a person so well.
Yeah.
Like obviously this isn't a biopic or anything like that, but you do see movies about people like the Doors movie or whatever, that involve somebody real and they try to portray them accurately.
Mm.
But like I think maybe the closest thing, and then it was after this movie, obviously, was like Being John Malkovich was
Yeah.
like that trippy inside the mind of the person kind of movie. And I think that this was just so well done.
Yeah.
Like I like if you told me Hunter Thompson made that movie about himself, like, and it was just 100% him, I would be like, yep,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah, definitely.
so perfectly him.
Yeah, the there's three things, it's the writing on the book, the movie, and then the person itself of Hunter Thompson, who he is. They had to have a scene where he's shooting a gun out in the desert,
Yeah,
because Hunter liked guns.
yeah,
Um, so they kind of like took the essence of what he was, put it in this movie to make
yeah,
sure the movie, worked. The book, if you don't see it beforehand, I think you need to kind of like, either A, watch the movie, then read the book, or and then go watch the movie again, or read the book and then watch the movie and kind of like piece together. So, another,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, I knew who he was
yeah,
and I knew his stories, but like I had read the Hell's Angel book and everything like that.
yeah,
I saw the movie before I read the book. Like I just thought that like it was out of nowhere.
hmm,
So and found out that it was based on the book. So then I read the book and I
yeah,
was like, holy shit, this is like completely different. And honestly, I enjoy the book more because it's more of just his actual writing. It's not little excerpts or little clips of samples of the writing. It's just all him naturally.
yeah,
But to portray it on film, there could have not been a better crew, cast, or
mm.
director, anything. So,
Like, do you feel like what is more influential in this movie, the writing of Thompson or the pictures that Ralph Stutzman did? Because without those pictures, that's where you don't get that visual cue that I
right.
think the movie kind of based itself on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But I think that the movie, like the writing, is what made this. Like, yeah, Ralph Steadman's art is like visually there, but
Mm,
also like his backcountry painting, they didn't really cover. They never showed a bat.
yeah.
They just showed getting ran over as they drove away,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, haha, they're not tripping or something. You know what I mean? But like, uh, so they like took influences from his art, but they didn't directly translate his art visually. So, you know,
Yeah. I mean, like, well, there are moments like the hitchhiker, he's got the Mickey Mouse shirt, and it's
hmm
the Ralph like picture that he put on that shirt for it, not just like a Mickey Mouse shirt, which
right.
obviously when they picked the hitchhiker up, he probably just had a regular Mickey Mouse on there.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I think it's almost like a combination. Like, without the imagery of Hunter's words, you then you don't have the imagery of Ralph's paintings, and then you don't have the imagery of Terry's like cinematography,
hmm
And I think all three of them kind of like make that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know,
Yeah.
you can eat a spoonful of peanut butter, a spoonful of jelly, and a fucking piece of bread, and you still didn't eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think it's all three of them kind of like blend it to kind of form this. But
Yeah.
Hunter is the big. He's the he's
Yeah.
the main thing, but you know.
Mhm.
So, uh, interesting fact. I do find it funny that the movie did not write in the script for the police officer played by Gary Busey to ask for a little kiss. Gary
Oh,
just kind of went off script, just
I'm
like,
sure that was all Gary.
"Can I? I'm very lonely. Can I have a little kiss?" It's just like Terry behind the camera, like, "What the fuck, Gary? That was kind of cool. I'm gonna keep it in there, but quit coming on to Johnny Depp."
That's so
But yeah, so let's go ahead and start up. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
man. I think I gotta give it 5 stars. It's too good. It's
Yeah,
too It's like too perfect all the way around. Everybody that made that had anything to do with that movie nailed it.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it 5 too. Um,
Copy
it's huh?
copycat
Oh yeah, okay.
by
Uh,
5 stars.
yeah. Fuck it. I'm gonna give it 1 now. um, but yeah, I think any person can really like if they take the time to look at the cinematography, the soundtrack, the writing, the directing, the this, that, and kind of like even when I was complaining earlier about like, like it doesn't follow the same schematic of a movie. Well, that's
Mhm.
still fine, just, do your goddamn homework, do your research. And then I think you'll start to enjoy this movie more. Uh,
They definitely did their
yeah.
research.
Even the acting in the movie is like crisp.
Yeah.
Johnny does a great job. I know you said you didn't like Benicio, but I think he really adds to Johnny, being
Well,
more aggressive and type of
yeah, I
person.
think he's like the other personality. Like Johnny's more like experimental, like going with the flow, kind of like freaking out to himself a little bit. And, he's more of the like, no, we got to take this drug on. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Like he's taking the drug. Uh, Johnny is the drug. Like he's just like going with it.
yeah.
And he's like trying to command his, like Benicio del Toro is trying to command his trip, and it like drives him fucking crazy.